Sam Kirchner, a co-founder of the Stop AI activist group, went missing around November 21st, 2025, after a dispute with other group members and failing to show up for a scheduled court hearing. Members of Stop AI and local police have been searching for him. His last known location was in the Bay Area, West Oakland/San Francisco. Authorities and group members are concerned about his mental state, another thing that they put out there, and potential danger to himself or others. But there is no public confirmation that he has died. So he is presumed alive but missing, and there's no confirmed report of his death as of latest news. Cops still searching for volatile activists whose death threats shut down OpenAI office. How dare you? San Francisco police are still searching for the 27-year-old anti-AI activist who alleged threats led to lockdown of OpenAI's offices late last month, warning that he could be armed and dangerous. Let's pause right there and go to his website. The goal of the AI arms race is artificial intelligence that can improve itself without human input. It could quickly become more advanced than even the smartest human. We will not be able to control it. The AI we have today already act and are used in ways that deceive and manipulate humans. The people working on super intelligent AI admit it could result in the death of all human life. We should never allow AI that is smarter than humans. Stop AI before AI stops you. This is the website. It's just information about like people mentioning how fucked up this is. Another quote, AI will probably most likely sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there will be great companies using machine learning. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. Cops still searching for volatile activists whose death threats shut down OpenAI office. The ChatGPT maker's headquarters was locked down after a former member of the protest group, Stop AI, allegedly threatened murder. Let's see what the Atlantic says. The strange disappearance of an anti-AI activist. Sam Kirchner wants to save the world from artificial superintelligence. He's been missing for 2 weeks. By Caitlin Tiffany. September 4th, 2025. Before Sam Kirchner vanished, before the San Francisco Police Department began to warn that he could be armed and dangerous, before OpenAI locked down its offices over the potential threat, those who encountered him saw him as an ordinary, if ardent, activist. Phoebe Thomas Sorgen met with Kirchner a few months ago at Travis Air Force Base, northeast of San Francisco, at a protest against immigration policy and U.S. military aid to Israel. Do we need to read any further? Sorgen, a longtime activist whose first protests were against the Vietnam War, was going to block an entrance to the base with 6 other older women. Kirchner, 27 years old, was there with a couple of other members of a group called Stop AI, and they all agreed to go along to record video on their phones in case of a confrontation with the police. They were mainly there, I believe, to recruit people who might be willing to engage in nonviolent civil disobedience, which they see as the key to stopping super AI. A method Sorgen thought was really smart, she told me. Afterward, she started going to Stop AI's weekly meetings in Berkeley and learning about the artificial intelligence industry, adopting the activist group's cause as one of her own. She was impressed by Kirchner and the other leaders who struck her as passionate and well-informed. They'd done their research on AI and on protest movements. They knew what they were talking about and what to do. They were committed to nonviolence on the merits as well as strategically, she said. They followed a typical activist playbook. They passed out flyers and served pizza and beer at at a t-shirt making party. They organized monthly demonstrations and debated various ideas for public publicity stunts. Stop AI, which calls for a permanent global ban on the development of artificial superintelligence, has always been a little more radical, more open to offending its members, clearly willing to get arrested than some of the other groups protesting the development of artificial general intelligence. But Sorgen told me that the leaders were also clear at every turn that violence was not morally acceptable or part of a winning strategy. That's the empire's game, violence, she noted. It's all about nonviolence. Organizers who gathered in a Stop AI signal chat were given only one warning for musing or even joking about violent actions. After that, they would be banned. Kirchner, who'd moved to San Francisco from Seattle and co-founded Stop AI last year, publicly expressed his own commitment to nonviolence many times, and friends and allies say they believed him. See, all this mention of nonviolence, and he's painted as a volatile. He seemed to be suffering under the strain of his belief that the creation of smarter than human AI was imminent, and that it would also almost certainly lead to the end of all human life. What the exact reason or the precise triggering event, Kirchner appears to have recently lost faith in the strategy of nonviolence, at least briefly. This alleged moment of crisis led to his expulsion from Stop AI, to a series of 911 calls placed by his compatriots, and apparently to his disappearance. His friends say they have been looking for him every day, but nearly 2 weeks have gone by with no sign of him. Although Kirchner's true intentions are impossible to know at this point and his story remains hazy, the rough outline has been enough to inspire a worried conversation about the AI safety movement as a whole. Experts disagree about the existential risk of AI. What experts? Who? Expert what? I hate when they do that shit. Experts disagree about the existential risk of AI. And some people think the idea of superintelligence, AI destroying all human life, is barely more than a fantasy, whereas to others, it is practically inevitable. He had the weight of the world on his shoulders. Wind Kaufman, one of Stop AI's core organizers, told me of Kirchner. What might you do if you truly felt that way? They are painting this guy hard. I am no longer part of Stop AI, Kirchner posted on X just before 4 a.m. Pacific time on Friday, November 21st. Later that day, OpenAI put its San Francisco offices on lockdown, as reported by Wired, telling employees that it had received information indicating that Kirchner had expressed interest in causing physical harm to OpenAI employees. The problem started the previous Sunday, according to both Kaufman and Matthew Hall, Stop AI's recently elected leader, who goes by Yako. At a planning meeting, Kirchner got into a disagreement with the others about the wording of some messaging for an upcoming demonstration. He was so upset, Kaufman and Hall told me, that the meeting totally devolved and Kirchner left, saying that he would proceed with his idea on his own. Later that evening, he allegedly confronted Yako. Kirchner left, saying that he would proceed with his own idea later. Okay. Later that evening, he allegedly confronted Yako and demanded access to Stop AI funds. I was concerned, given his demeanor, what he might use that money on, Yako told me. When he refused to give Kirchner the money, he said Kirchner punched him several times in the head. Kaufman was not present during the alleged assault, but she went to the hospital with Yako, who was examined for a concussion, according to both of them. Yako also shared his emergency room discharge form with me, so it's real. I was unable to reach Kirchner for comment. On Monday morning, according to Yako, Kirchner was apologetic but seemed conflicted. He expressed that he was exasperated by how slowly the movement was going and that he didn't think nonviolence was working. I believe his exact words were, "The nonviolence ship has sailed for me." Does this sound, let me pause for a second, ask the chat. Does this sound believable at all? Am I just reading this wrong? The non-violent ship has sailed for me. Who the fuck talks like that? Who says that? The non-violent ship has sailed for me. That sounds like that shit was written by AI. Is this even a real thing? This is AI slop. He doesn't exist. It's a made up. AI made up this story as a controlled opposition against itself. So Yako and Kaufman told me that Stop AI members called the SFPD at this point to express some concern about what Kirchner might do, but that nothing came of the call. After that, for a few days, Stop AI dealt with the issue privately. Kirchner could no longer be part of Stop AI because of the alleged violent confrontation, but the situation appeared manageable. Members of the group became newly concerned when Kirchner didn't show at a scheduled court hearing related to his February arrest for blocking doors at an open AI office. How could you block those doors? What is wrong with you? They went to Kirchner's apartment in West Oakland and found it unlocked and empty, at which point they felt obligated to notify the police again and to also notify various AI companies that they didn't know where Kirchner was and that there was some possibility that he could be dangerous. That man is going to take down AI by himself. Y'all don't even know. This man, he was non-violent. Now he's violent. Y'all better get out the way. He said it himself. Word, what'd he say? The non-violent ship has sailed for me, guys. How do you even say that in real fucking life? How was that said? Let's try to figure out a way that you could say that real fucking listically. The non-violent ship. In what context do you say that? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to AI when you say this stupid ass shit? The non-violent ship has sailed for me, Cindy. Oh, he said it, that he's violent now. Clearly. Our whole thing is about non-violence. And he jumped on a ship and sailed away on his violent pirate ship to go attack AI on his violent boat. Both Kaufman and Sorgen suspect that Kirchner is likely camping somewhere. He took his bicycle with him, but left behind other belongings, including his laptop and phone. He's completely off the grid now. They imagine he's feeling wounded and betrayed. What? Who the fuck is writing this? They imagine he's feeling wounded and betrayed and maybe fearful. Maybe he's fucking in a ditch somewhere. What do you mean he's feeling wounded and betrayed? And maybe fearful of the consequences of his alleged meltdown. Yako told me that he wasn't sure about Kirchner's state of mind, but that he didn't believe that Kirchner had access to funds that would enable him to act on his alleged suggestions of violence. Ramelt Ellen, an advisor to Stop AI, told me that he was concerned about Kirchner's safety, especially if he is experiencing a mental health crisis. There's the other one, violent, mental health. Check them off. They're all checked off the block, man. They got him. Almost 2 weeks into his disappearance, Kirchner's situation has grown worse. The San Francisco Standard recently reported on internal bulletin circulated with the San Francisco Police Department on November 21st, which cited 2 callers who warned that Kirchner had specifically threatened to buy high-powered weapons and to unalive people at OpenAI. He said that. That's what they said he said. Both Kaufman and Yako told me that they were confused by the report. As far as I know, Sam made no direct threats to OpenAI or anyone else, Yako said. From his perspective, the likelihood that Kirchner was dangerous was low, but the group didn't want to take any chances. A representative from the SFPD declined to comment on the bulletin. OpenAI did not return a request for comment. The reaction from the broader AI safety movement was fast and consistent. Many disavowed violence. One group, Pause AI, a much larger AI safety activist group than Stop AI, specifically disavowed Kirchner. Pause AI is notably said it includes property damage in its definition of violence, for instance, and doesn't allow volunteers to do anything illegal or disruptive, such as chain themselves to doors, barricade gates, and otherwise trespass or interfere with operations of AI companies. The kind of protests we do are people standing at the same place and maybe speaking a message. The group's CEO, Maxime Fornes, told me, but not preventing people from going to work or blocking the streets. Respectful protest. This is one of the reasons that Stop AI was founded in the first place. Kirchner and others who met in the Pause AI Discord server thought that that genteel approach was insufficient. Instead, Stop AI situated itself in a tradition of more confrontational protests, consulting Gene Sharp's 1973 classic, The Methods of Nonviolent Action, which includes such tactics as sit-ins, nonviolent obstruction, and seeking imprisonment. In its early stages, the movement against unaccountable AI development has had to face the same questions as any other burgeoning social movement. How do you win broad support? How can you be palatable and appealing while also being sufficiently pointed, extreme enough to get attention, but not so much that you sabotage yourself? Pause AI also discourages its members from doing hunger strikes. The biggest difference between Pause AI and Stop AI is the one implied in their names. Pause AI advocates for a pause in superintelligence AI development until it can proceed safely or in alignment with democratically decided ideal outcomes. Stop AI's position is that this kind of alignment is a fantasy and that AI should not be allowed to progress further towards superhuman intelligence than it already has. For that reason, their rhetoric differs as much as their tactics. You should not hear official Pause AI channels saying things like, "We will all die with complete certainty," Foreign said. By contrast, Stop AI has opted for very blunt messaging, announcing plans to barricade the doors of OpenAI office in San Francisco last October. Organizers sent out a press release that read, in part, OpenAI is trying to build something smarter than humans, and it's going to kill us all. More recently, the group prompted another protest with a digital flyer saying, "Close OpenAI or we're all going to die." Jonathan Calais, a 47-year-old activist who is not based in San Francisco, but who participates in a Stop AI Discord server with just under 400 people in it, told me that Stop AI is a large and diverse group of people who are concerned about AI for a variety of reasons: job loss, environmental impact, creative property rights, and so on. Not all of them fear the imminent end of the world, but they have all signed up for a version of the movement that puts that possibility front and center. Yako, who joined Stop AI earlier this year, was elected group's new leader on October 28th. That he and others in Stop AI were not completely on board with the gloomy messaging that Kirchner favored was one of the causes of the falling out, he told me. I think that made him feel betrayed and scared. Going forward, Yako said, Stop AI will be focused on a more hopeful message and will try to emphasize that an alternate future is still possible rather than just trying to scare people, even if the truth is scary. One of his ideas is to help organize a global general strike and to do so before AI takes a large enough share of human jobs. It's about the jobs. And it's too late for withholding labor to have any impact. It's jobs, man. It's about the jobs, guys. AI's gonna kill everybody. And dude's like, but they're gonna take our jobs. And they're like, you're gonna be president. You get the fuck out of here. That's what happened. Or they took him out in a different way. To make this whole fucking story short, that's what the fuck happened. If you're gonna ask me and I'm just spitballing, his program got infiltrated by people who infiltrate systems the same way they infiltrated Occupy and other movements. They got in there, they created a division with what his were extreme perspectives, and they institutionalized this not so extreme perspective, this completely non-violent, because you're violent, you're getting violent. You are doing too much right now, sir. You have to leave. And we're going to stop AI the right way. Maybe if you just disappear, how about that? Disappear, you're just gone. How about what happens if you just go? You're just gone. He's just gone now. Where's he at? I don't know. His bike, he took his bike and his bag, but he left his computer and his phone. So maybe he's dead. We don't know.